with what we are hearing now, there cannot be a cordial working relationship between Niger and Nigeria. And of course, don't forget that Niger is also part of the multinational joint task force that is fighting insurgency and terrorism around the Sahel region. You know, you have Benin Republic, Chad, Niger, Cameroon, and other fighting Boko Haram. You know, so you don't see that commitment, and you won't see that commitment from Niger Republic as it stands, right? Because so if we have that kind of relationship, why would we not want to begin to see how to destabilize it because there's a military regime in Niger?
All right, Doctor, is there a need to investigate these allegations? Because some Nigerians argue that the federal government of Nigeria merely debunk the rumors, only denied as baseless accusations. Is this enough to convince the citizens?
No. I think there's need to investigate it, and that in investigating, I want to put it to you, the media. You have a lot to do here because when you have investigative journalism, there's need for you guys to put that into practice now, to really go into it and to see that if these allegations are true or not. But don't forget that the Nigerian junta has seen that there's this robust relationship between Nigeria and France at the moment. So you don't expect them to say nothing less from what they are saying. But in terms of investigation, I think we'll have a lot to do. Those of us that are private security consultants will have a lot to do in that regard, and also you, the media. Let us see how to put up some investigation to see what truly is out there playing out. Yes.
All right. In the meantime, I know that these allegations have destabilized a lot of things when it comes to security architecture.
Absolutely.
Tell us how far this destabilization could go, and what are the consequences to Nigeria and to the West African sub-region.
Now, you know, with what we are hearing now, there cannot be a cordial working relationship between Niger and Nigeria. And of course, don't forget that Niger is also part of the multinational joint task force that is fighting insurgency and terrorism around the Sahel region. You know, you have Benin Republic, Chad, Niger, Cameroon, and other fighting Boko Haram. You know, so you don't see that commitment, and you won't see that commitment from Niger Republic as it stands, right? Because there are some issues that we need to see how to unfold and see how to settle. Because if there is no cordiality, if there is no synergy between these countries that are fighting Boko Haram up there, you don't expect an effective result. So that alone is also going to cause some more effects, you know, in the fight against insecurity. And also, you know, there's this transnational border crime that we also like the Lacroix terrorist group, that they came all the way from Mali through Niger, according to the story or the information, until they got into Nigeria. So if you're not working in cordiality with Niger, you don't expect their own security force or military force and all that to see how to work in synergy. In the event where you see something and you pass an information to the Nigerian military, you don't expect that swift response when it has to do with fighting insecurity. So all these are issues that will cause a lot of implications in the fight against insecurity. So I think that there is need for Nigeria as a country to see how to work in synergy with Niger, because the fight against insecurity, we are talking about terrorism here, and terrorism is a global phenomenon. Any attack on a nation is an attack on the other nations as well. So we don't need to see that we are putting our dirty linens in the public right now. What we need to do is to see that we work in harmony, you know, to see that the Sahel region, especially the ECOWAS sub-region, is actually taking charge when it has to do with security issues.
All right, Doctor, tell us the implication of that mistrust among Nigerians right now, because I have come across some content on social media, a lot of people saying their words for or against the Nigerian government due to these allegations. How would that mistrust also affect our security as a nation?
Yes, I think in that regard, I think the citizens need to be enlightened, right, so that they don't go with a negative mindset. That's why we have the National Rotation Agency and other social media outfit and all that. I think the state government also have a lot to play here, because we're talking about issue of mistrust. The National Orientation Agency, there need to be some kind of radio or television broadcast that the people will understand. They will speak in the language that the people will understand, to know that, okay, the issues are not issues that one will begin to have no confidence in this country or the state where the person comes from. Because Nigeria belongs to all of us, and we should not have this doubt about our country. We have to just have confidence and believe that whatever the country is doing for us is best for us and all that. So we don't need foreign comments or statements that will come and destabilize we that are living in this country. So the people must be spoken to in the language that they will understand, to let them understand that these issues are not just issues that are begin to raise any issue within our level. It's a national issue, and that at that level it will be trashed and settled there.
Right. Some residents of Niger, as you pointed out, and Nigeria mingle together every single day, hour, and minutes.
Absolutely.
Do you believe that, according to your discipline, professionally speaking, as a security expert, would there going to be any mistrust among the residents?
I think this has to do with the mind of the people. Just the way I said, it has to do with the mind of the people, and they need to be spoken to. Because if we see ourselves as brothers, we should also see ourselves as our brothers' keepers, and know that in the event where issues bordering on insecurity wants to rear its head, I think there is need for us as a country and as citizens that share common boundaries and all that, to be able to raise concerns, right? And in raising concerns, it takes us to the point where we can fight these insecurity issues together. So I think that there's a lot that we need to do as citizens. Don't forget that I said in one of my conversations that civilian citizens are also security managers, right? In the event where you are not comfortable with what you are seeing or what is happening around you, there's need to report to the relevant security agencies that are close to us. So I think that we have had a very cordial relationship between Nigeria and Nigeria. So this issue is not an issue where it begin to raise eyebrows to the point that we will begin to see ourselves as enemies now. So I think it's something that we can get over it.
Okay, now how do we manage this situation, this mess that has been created?
Now, you see, how do we manage it? Is that the Nigerian head of the Nigerian junta is there. We have a civilian president here. Don't forget that ECOWAS was established in 1975, and when ECOWAS was established in 1975, most of the countries within the West African sub-region were headed by military head of state, right? So in the event where we have a military head of state in Niger, for me, it doesn't take away the fact that the country is still not within the ECOWAS sub-region.